And here we are out on the awesome balcony we've got here, the convention center behind us, and Daniel Isaac from THQ next to me, here to talk about Warhammer 40K Space Marine. That's Daniel,
right.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
What do you think of this setup we got out here?
It is all right. It is cool with me.
It is cool, and
very nice.
You played it well with the sunglasses, man. I gotta say,
thanks.
I've been missing that. All right, Warhammer 40K Space Marine. Folks who don't know much about it, give them the overview. What's the deal?
Well, so if you don't know much about our buddy Captain Titus of the Ultramarines, they are the model, the template from which the other Space Marines were created.
You might have heard of a few other Space Marines, you know. Yeah,
you know, those other guys. And if you haven't heard of those guys, Space Marines are the archetype of a badass. It is a 7'5" guy in ceramite, bright adorned ceramite armor, which basically means, for the uninitiated, that is pretty much indestructible. These guys, they weigh 1,000 pounds. They charge into battle relentlessly, destroying everything in front of them.
And you know, a calm day on the battlefield is them killing like thousands of orcs?
Thousands, give or take 10,000. So
tens of thousands of orcs.
That's about right.
These are some heavy hitters, and now we're seeing them in action right now with the live demo you guys have playing here. And I see a big hammer. Let's talk about that thing.
That is a thunder hammer. So what we're doing right here, showing you some stuff that we haven't really gotten to take a look at up until now. Captain Titus there is running through the single player campaign, taking on some orcs. That's a knob that he's destroying. A knob is one of the big, meaner, nastier orcs. When orcs got nothing better to do, they just fight each other. And the orcs that have survived the most and crushed the most of their orc companions, those are the ones that survive to go on and be a knob, which is a pretty tough guy. For anybody but Captain Titus, that'd be a bit of a challenge. But Captain Titus here, he's dropping right into the battlefield with his jump pack, and he's crushing down with his thunder hammer. So we wanted to do more than just have, there's plenty of forward momentum, plenty of gunplay, plenty of traversing on foot, but what's great about being a Space Marine is having a jump pack, really being able to explore the verticality of some of these levels. So you can get to some areas that you wouldn't be able to typically get to on foot, and use a pretty unique arsenal to crush guys like we're doing right now.
Kind of allows you guys to be a little more creative with level design too, because you have more freedom of movement to play around with.
Yeah, that's right, and that certainly applies to multiplayer, where you can equip a jump pack, and we have different classes that you can play with, one of them being the Assault, where you get to have a jump pack. So other characters in the field, like a Devastator class, which might be a little more lumbering, a little slower, and have a weapon like a Heavy Bolter that has less mobility but devastating firepower, now has an interesting paper, rock, scissors kind of gameplay with a class like the Assault, who can ascend to, you know, all kinds of great heights and get the drop on his enemies.
Close the distance a little quicker.
Exactly, get in and deal mostly melee damage.
All right, so we're seeing single player here, but you're talking about is class-based multiplayer. Now, lay out the details here. Competitive. How many players do we got in the fray?
Yeah, we've got 8v8 multiplayer across a couple different game modes. We have good old Annihilation, which is pretty much straight up team deathmatch.
Yes, please.
And we've got Seize Ground. That's our objective-based gameplay.
Okay.
And yeah, there are different classes. We have a tactical class, we have an assault class, and we have a devastator class. Devastators are your, like I was saying, your heavy weapons classes. So really, the really crazy weapons of the Space Marine universe, like plasma cannons, heavy bolters, and then your...
so doing damage over, maybe more of a ranged class, be able to deal damage, you know, not just up close and personal, but across the map.
Yeah, and there's more of a risk reward with those classes. If you're firing a plasma cannon, you don't have a huge clip. You're firing long, giant bursts that deal massive area of effect damage, but you know, you might not be able to. It's more of a skill-based class. And then you've got your crazy assault class, which just drops in, deals fast melee damage, and then the tactical class is our other class, and that's sort of our jack of all trades. If you want to snipe, or if you want to use a shorter shotgun type weapon, in this case we have a melt-a-gun, which just fires a concentrated blast of heat to basically melt your foe. That's the tactical class. You can go that route.
Melt-a-gun?
Melt-a-gun, yeah.
I like the sound of that. Now, what's standing out to me here, I mean, aside from all the awesome carnage, is the like lovingly crafted shoulder plates. Like, this dude's armor is something you guys, you know, you talked about before. You said that word from the Warhammer universe that I do not know how to, I could not repeat for you, but
it might have been ceramite.
Ceramite, that's the
Ceramite.
one. Now, are we seeing any, customization either in the multiplayer or the single player that allows you to sort of tweak that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. That's a huge part of the tabletop experience in Warhammer 40,000. So, of course, we want that experience intact for the fans who get their hands on Space Marine. We did the math. We got about 1.8 billion combinations that you can reach in our customizer.
What?
And our customizer lets you change everything from individual shoulder pads to your helmet, to your boots, to your breastplate, your jump pack. All of those items are fully customizable. Not just the colors, but the actual models, the embellishments, the chapter markers that you put on your shoulders. There's a pretty robust selection that you can get into. And there are some bonus options that you can get just from playing single player that will unlock some interesting customization options in multiplayer.
That's a cool way to be true to those tabletop roots you were saying, because, for folks who have undoubtedly you've heard the Warhammer name, but maybe you're not sure what it's all about. Its origins were in that tabletop experience, or that's a huge part of it.
Right.
And now, are you guys? So here at Comic-Con, you're here, you're showing off 40K Space Marine, and this is really cool. Do you have any other Warhammer stuff going on here this week?
Not so much. We really just want to get Space Marine out right now and let people see what it's like to be, in the suit of armor, to feel what it's like to just crush, as we were saying, thousands and thousands of orcs. That's something that we don't feel anybody's ever gotten the experience to do. Relic Studio, they're well known for making their Warhammer 40,000 games, the Dawn of War line. But that was those are real-time strategy games where you control entire armies. We really want people to focus right now on what it's like just to be one unstoppable, unassailable Space Marine.
I like those words, unstoppable, unassailable.
It just comes right out. I look at the man, and that's what comes to mind.
And that is what he is embodying as he crushes these pretty fiendish-looking orcs. Now, what's the motivation here? I mean, orcs, obviously, they have a bad attitude. They like to fight a lot.
They're just always causing trouble.
But, are they causing trouble on a galactic scale or something here? That's why we're sticking it to them?
That's exactly what they're doing. So, Forge worlds in the Warhammer 40,000 universe are planets that exist to do nothing other than make titans, which are giant city-sized robots, essentially, that can destroy planets. They have incredible weaponry. So on these Forge worlds, in addition to that, it's just giant manufacturing houses for weapons and crazy, devastating machinery. The orcs, of course, decided, hey, we should probably go to this Forge world. We should probably get our hands on some of this weaponry.
That sounds like a good thing to have, a giant city-sized planet-destroying monstrosity.
Yeah, they're going to do nothing good with it. So it's up to Captain Titus and his squad to stop that. And some other stuff happens along the way. There are Chaos forces in the game as well. Chaos Space Marines, who are basically the embodiment of a Space Marine, but the evil, spiky version. They're pretty bad dudes. So they're in the game as well. We're not talking about how they come about because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But yeah, we're just crushing orcs for now.
They are not your friends.
They certainly are not your friends.
Okay.
In fact, in the multiplayer, those are the two factions we have. So you can be a Chaos Space Marine who have an awesome sort of parody of every Space Marine weapon. They have their own kind of gnarly, grizzled, evil version of what the Space Marines have.
That doesn't sound like something I'd want to come across. But also, on the one hand, but on the other hand, it sounds like a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't want to come across it, but you might want to be behind that suit of armor, wielding that wicked version of the chainsword.
You might not want the blue and gold with the lion head. You might want some spikes, some blood colors.
But hey, we don't draw the line there. If you want to run around in pink and yellow armor, which is what I do in multiplayer, those options are there. I mean, it's all about the customization, and you can do anything you want. Any look is achievable.
Like a rainbow sherbet look?
You can do a rainbow sherbet look. Yeah, you can have the full spectrum going on.
So does that make it easier or harder to cosplay as a Space Marine? I mean, obviously the armor's pretty bulky, but you got some creative leeway there.
Yeah, I think so. You just got to find ceramite. I think that's the hard part.
That's true. And be able to lift 1,000 pounds of armor.
Hey, dude, the internet is a vast trove of information, so you can probably figure it out somehow.
So hey, and Warhammer is an immensely popular franchise. And so Space Marine, you've got a big old single player campaign. You've got 8-on-8 competitive multiplayer. Is there any cooperative campaign action here where you team up with another fellow Space Marine at all?
We're not mentioning anything about co-op right now or plans for DLC, but we do definitely intend to keep the brand alive. We're going to
sounds kind of like a yes on both there, Daniel. But you're not mentioning it here.
Okay. Yeah, I think my marketing partners would probably want me to say no, but
all right. Well, so your no is on record.
Okay, no is on record.
But you are something about supporting the brand.
We're going to keep it alive. Yeah, it's important to, especially for the fans, to keep supporting with additional material. We're talking about DLC right now, what that means, what people want, and what we want to bring them. So yeah, in the coming months leading up to launch, we do intend to certainly start talking more about that.
All right. Now, speaking of, when is launch, and what systems are you guys launching on?
September 6th in the U.S., and that's Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. And PC simultaneous.
Daniel, thank you so much for bringing by Warhammer 40K Space Marine. And September 6th, that's just around the corner.
That is around the corner, you guys.
All right, cool. Well, enjoy the rest of Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys bringing that by.
Absolutely.